Because, of course, we have to make everybody believe that we were talking about something really deep right now, right?
We were. Dude, between Cyberpunk and the new Twitch thing, I could go deep on a lot of gaming stuff from this week.
Well, I do have my copy of Cyberpunk that I started playing last night at 11.
Game is
oh crap! I need to go get it.
The controversy surrounding that game is big.
Well, it's great that we have all these people here. So listen, folks, this is how we get started. Welcome to the Esports YouTube channel. We always start like this because we just want to fool everybody to think that we were having really good conversations. But we're going to, we've got some special guests in chat tonight. So please be kind to the people who are coming to us from the Riverside County Office of Education Esports Conference. Because they're going to be hanging out with us for a little bit. So, but of course, we have to do the countdown. So the guy, I need better. Oh wait, we just lost
Danielle.
She's I'll take it.
She's like, yeah, that's it. I only came for the countdown.
That's right. I think I have to make the music a little peppier going forward. I'm gonna rework the music here for that.
I don't know. I'm always rocking out during the music.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome in everybody. It is Thursday night. It is your pre-Friday. It is special guest night because not only do we have Gilad coming to us from Israel again well into the future at 3:30 in the morning, but we also have a number of folks who are here from the Riverside County area, just south of Cary, I believe.
Yep.
Right? Riverside County south. Okay. So strange thing happened. So yesterday, the person who's organizing it, Dr. Dennis Large, said, hey, remember how you said you could help out if we had something go down? Well, we did. Somebody pulled out, can you do a session at 4:10 California time? I said, well, I do have this Esports EDU chat that I am committed to doing at 4:30 your time, but could we just bring in people and let them see what the community is like, where they can go after? So here we all are. So thank you, people, for being here. How could you not sub? I don't know how people can't sub. How?
Should be able to.
Yeah, everybody should be able to sub.
Yeah.
My name is James O'Hagan. I am the Director of Digital and Virtual Learning for the Racine Unified School District. And to my left, we have...
Bada bing, bada boom, Mr. Worldwide as I step in the room.
Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Mr. O'Hagan. My name is Gilad, but you won't pronounce it, so Kratos is fine. I'm an educator from Israel with a big passion for gaming. I specialize mainly in teacher professional development. I have courses for teachers. I finished this week my first big-scale pilot of the Gaming for Parents course, which is interesting. And I'm just happy to be here, even though it's late. It's the weekend. Cyberpunk was out, and my wife and the toddler is over with their parents. I just want to mention that. So, yeah.
It sounds like in our pre-conversation, Carrie has some thoughts about Cyberpunk, but we'll let Carrie introduce herself first before we start tearing this apart.
Yeah, okay. I'm Carrie Linden, otherwise known as the Chuck Muju on Twitter. I am, what am I? I'm the communication specialist for Liminal Esports and its offshoot Snowbright Studio. I'm an ex-middle school teacher. I'm a Twitch streamer. I have way too many dice.
You do. Yes.
I don't, though.
You are a dice.
Dragon.
Wait. You are a dice.
I am.
And then she's not in her usual spot. You know what? I have to put Danielle where. I'm sorry. This is where Danielle goes. I don't feel right if she's all the way over there.
Top middle, yeah.
So middle square. Go ahead. Introduce yourself.
Oh, I thought I don't know what I thought I was doing. I'm Danielle Johnson, and I am a middle school teacher in Dallas, Texas, and I am the president of the Texas Scholastic Esports Federation.
And you also are a teacher.
Oh, I thought I said that. I'm a middle school teacher in Dallas, Texas.
She led with that.
Which guys, we got Minecraft on our Chromebooks today.
Oh, awesome. Sweet.
And
right.
it was
Won't he do
like,
it?
that's what all we played all day. It was
Awesome.
amazing.
Nice.
It was so
Nice. And then right below we have the Reverend.
Hey everybody, I am Bradford, EdTech on Twitter. I am NASEF Scholastic Fellow, and I'm also the Chief Learning Officer for TechSef, and I am the Digital Coordinator of Innovation for the Aldine Independent School District in Houston.
And so that's the chat. Thank you all for coming. It was a great night. A lot of stuff done here. Introduced ourselves. No, again,
I didn't get any sound effects. I feel a little like rejected right now.
Right.
Oh, and we have somebody else who popped in.
Hey, Julia.
I made it, guys. Don't worry.
Well, I played you up in our as Carrie and I did the introduction to what this all was, and I think I called it out. Helix High School. Now, is Helix charter school?
Yes. But
Okay.
yeah. We are, but we fall like in the public district, so it's like a weird charter, but yes.
Well, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Hi, everyone. My name is Angelique Giannis. I am an English teacher in San Diego, California, and I also run our esports program, both competitive and casual. I'm also a NASEF Scholastic mentor. I feel like Bradford now. I'm like, I also do this and this and this and this.
Blowing up.
I think that's it. That's all.
And a Fortnite content creator.
Right.
Yes. And I am now, Fortnite has graced me with a creator code, which is very exciting.
So the people who are, again, because tonight, I don't know if you heard, but we have a number of people from the Riverside County Office of Education Esports Symposium. Yes, they are here. We decided to help them punt a little bit. So we brought some of them over here to find out what the esports EDU community is like and the chat's like. Tell them what does this Fortnite creator code allow you to do?
And educate me.
Oh my God. So I'm learning new stuff about it every day. But like the number
makes
one,
me feel better.
Yeah. The number one reason why I wanted it is because it gives you the ability to make custom matches. So you can make your own 100-person custom match and only give that code to whoever you want it to. So for me, it's, my students who sign up, and then you can hold your own 100-person custom games. Mm-hmm. It can be tournament style. I mean, we're just doing just like community game nights just for fun right now. But definitely could be an easy way to accommodate a lot of students in one tournament. Like, it is so easy to use your creator code. And the other thing that I just learned the other day is that it gives you the ability to publish custom maps. So something that I'm thinking about doing is a lot of my students are making these really cool custom maps. Like one of my students had me play his capture the flag map that he worked on for like months. And now that I have a creator code, I have the ability to like publish that for them so other people can download it and play it, which is so cool.
How do you get the creator code?
You have to have 1,000 followers on any social media platform.
Which last Thursday she had.
That was her push last week.
Friends count?
What?
The Facebook friends count? Like, what's the matrix here?
I think it's any social media account. I don't know. I don't do Facebook, but
no, I think Facebook was one of them. YouTube, for Twitter,
Twitch,
Twitch, all that stuff. I will say, I think there's one more workshop.
Oh yeah.
and there is a way.
Yeah. So Steve Isaacs, who did announce today that to the group that he on February 1st will be starting as the head of education something at Epic.
That's so cool.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Pull that out.
Yeah.
Where did you post that message? I missed
He
it.
said it on Saturday at the. I don't know. He's probably said it multiple times at the ISI at the ISI virtual.
I don't
whatever
think
you
he said it
wanna call
on
it.
Twitter or anything yet.
I don't think he said it on Twitter, but he did say
Oh my
it
gosh,
in
it's so
his workshop.
exciting.
So
He did
cool.
say it in his workshop.
Yeah. So
We
he's
will
going to be
finally
going
know
to.
somebody at Epic, guys.
Well,
Finally.
yes. So Steve will be going off to Mr. Steve Isaacs, who I think of him more for his Minecraft work, but I did participate in his Fortnite workshop a couple months ago.
Yep.
Being able to build and use that sandbox in Fortnite is such a fun thing, and the fact that your student, you said D'Angelique worked months.
And this thing it blew my mind. He's like, Miss Giannis, you want to play through my game? Nobody else has really played it. And I'm like, absolutely. And so me and my coworker dropped into his map, and it was just so cool. So it puts you on like team A or team B, and he has it programmed to do everything. And you get to pick like the type of person you want to be, and that comes with different types of guns. So there's like 6 different options for you when you drop in. And you're in this room, and then you drop into the map, and it's like a whole capture the flag thing that he built, and you can't go certain places because it diminishes your health. And like, it was just,
wow.
It blew my mind. I was like, people need to see this. Like,
you can do amazing things with the custom.
Yeah.
I will say, and I don't know why I kept putting up, because y'all in here know Steve. He tweets out, that he's going to the restroom and he'll tag you.
Yes.
My man.
It makes me feel good about myself, though.
I
when
know.
get tagged.
So-
I'm in the
It's
loop.
easy to laugh about that. It's easy to laugh about that, but Steve has been a great inspiration to me too. And
He has.
without that tagging, I'm not sure I would be part of this circle right now.
I wouldn't either at all.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to be a bit of a
You're absolutely right.
And
If
we
it
all
wasn't
say it
for-
with love. I mean, I think
Yeah.
every single one of us has a connection to him. He's the reason I took over this chat, which, there's
Absolutely.
so much.
It would be for him.
Our get to know
for him, I
you
wouldn't be
question
here
every
either.
week could be for everybody is like, how do you know Steve Isaacs?
It's the 6 degrees of
That's
Steve,
right.
Steve
That's-
Isaacs.
That's how you legitimize. It's like that 2-factor authentication.
Right?
You
How
know
do
they're
My-
legit if they spell it right and they know Steve Isaacs.
That's
Well-
very true.
That's
And here's
actually a nice Twitter game. I think we should do that as a Twitter game.
Oh yeah.
my intro to Steve. I knew Steve for years.
We should do this
online.
when he's here, guys.
Well,
we should.
I think he's actually presenting right now about his book, which I don't have my copy here. Else I
I'll
hold it
pass
up because I wrote the foreword. But there we go.
fine.
Thanks, Danielle. Steve, I found out about the Minecraft Fair because Steve's been involved with the Minecraft Fair for several years.
Yeah.
And when I said, hey, he asked me if I could just help out. And I said, well, I've got my 3 kids with me, I can't, that weekend. He goes, well, bring them, we'll put you up he set it up, arranged for a hotel room for me and my kids. We all went out for pizza. His kids were there. His wife was there. I mean, it was like my kids had that we still talk about that. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, Steve, thank you so much. Like, you guess that's the great thing about Twitch too. Those of you who are watching or using Twitch for the first time, we can now take this and clip this and send this to Steve as kind of like, see, we were talking about you in good ways, because we all do. So this is, but again, this is what the esports edu community is like, right? Last week it was Angelique. She needed to get to 1,000 followers to get the Fortnite creator code. We helped. You were below 800.
I was like
600, I think. Yeah.
700, I think, or something like that. Yeah, that was I'm still blown away. That was
There
wild.
was even a
Guys,
guy.
somebody gave
even
away. Oh, that's what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Go ahead, Daniel. You say it.
Oh, somebody gave away a mouse, like a gaming mouse, to one of his like you had to provide proof that you followed Angelique on Twitter, and then he gave away a gaming mouse. Angelique doesn't even know him.
No, he just found me, and then he messaged me, and he's like, "Hey, like, what you guys are doing is super cool. I work in collegiate esports. Like, please, like, let me know. Like, and he said that goes to every single, like, all three of you, that the other people that were on the stream too. Like, he was so nice. It was so cool. I was like, what?
It was really cool to see. It was really cool to see.
The magic of the internet, you know?
Yeah,
The
right.
magic of this community. Let's face it. Look, we have disagreements, right? And, you know, even before, like I said, we haven't started talking about Cyberpunk 2077. Carrie, it looks loaded for bear, but I pre-ordered mine like back in May, like when it was supposed to be out, because I got it for $45, and you know, I just love it for the fact that it is taken like 2 presidential administrations to develop,
come to fruition,
right?
And how many delays? Yeah,
so many delays.
Yeah,
but you know, the big disappointment, of course, is that Rockstar isn't releasing a new Grand Theft Auto with all the new stuff. They're like, oh, let's take Grand Theft Auto 5 and just make it Grand Theft Auto 5 again. So this is my Grand Theft Auto, and again, I'm adult, I can do what I want. But yeah, it's we have disagreements, but again, we support, and we try to put light on the things that are good, and we will intellectually and hopefully proactively call it the things that are not so good all the time. So Carrie, what do you think about it?
Which rolls right into Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is an odd one because I really wanted to be stoked about it. Like the second Keanu Reeves walked out on stage, it was like, oh, okay, like this is awesome. But then the PR and marketing machine started. And the main issues that have kind of come through just the process of the game has been its handling of transgender individuals, the over-sexualizing of them, and sort of using them for shock value. There was a very famous poster that went out for promotions that featured a trans woman with a extremely large phallus. That was clearly visible through the skin-tight, like lycra clothing. And people from the community called it out. And we're like, hey, you know, not all inclusion is good inclusion. If you're producing this type of content, it's obviously supposed to be out there to sort of radicalize and, you know, sort of fetishize a particular population of people. And that's not the best thing to do. They didn't come out and apologize. In fact, the rest of their marketing campaign, anytime something touched on that, made jokes about, you know, well, what's wrong with this game? Oh, is it the lack of like vaginas? Like they started kind of playing on this gaffe that they made before, sort of turning it into a joke kind of in the future. So they definitely lost a lot of support from not everyone in the LGBTQ community. Obviously, there's a lot of people that are still playing the game, and I'm sure there's still trans-identified individuals that are playing the game too. But there's been a lot of kickback to it because they have not redacted anything. They haven't said sorry. They just kind of put this out there, continued with it. Then the other issue that took place when the initial copies started to go out for sort of pre-play, when the game was embargoed, at that point, the game did not have a seizure warning, and there's a section in the game that directly mimics a test that is meant to induce seizures in epileptic individuals for testing. So you enter into the sequence, and it really sort of directly recreates what this experience is like. And anybody who was playing who happens to be epileptic was having seizures. So a couple streamers who had tested the product came out and called him out. We're like, hey, you know, one, why would you even put something that intentionally induces seizures into a video game? And two, why would you not put a giant warning on your game that this exists? Not only that, but a warning before you enter into this sequence that causes it. None of that was there. Since then, there's now, I believe, a warning that pops up when you start the game. So it looks like a hot patch went out.
And a half. Like I couldn't even read it.
Yeah. It's from what I've heard, it's really short, and you kind of need to be looking for it. So the big concern is the complete lack of responsibility that this game has sort of shown the LGBT community, as well as the epileptic or seizure suffering population. It's just like not cool. Tons of people are excited about this game. Not all of my friends, a lot of my friends are streaming this game, and then half of my friends are boycotting it because they can't. Like, they just can't support a company coming out and just having this complete disregard for such a large population of people.
Now, let's ask this. Is this worse in your mind? Now, again, we're talking about a game that doesn't exist yet. Remember the whole gamer girl?
Yeah.
Do you feel like this is a spectrum? Do you feel like this is a totally different category? Do you feel like, because gamer girl, again, went to the over-sexualization. It went to the, stereotypes about gamers and girls and the very real issue about stalking, which we've even seen lightly.
Yeah.
Even in this own group here.
I think they're both bad, but I think it's various levels. Other people I know that use like accommodations that are trying to play the game are saying it's hard to map for like adaptive equipment. It's just not made for everybody to play. It's like it's like
mature rated. So let's keep that in mind.
It's mature rated. Oh yeah, this is a game that is. I feel like it feels like it is intentionally designed to exclude a large percentage of the population. Now, there are a lot of people who are defending it and saying it's not intentional. This is completely a misstep. And I got to say, for a game that has been in production as long as they have, from a company that has been around, how are you not hitting these points? Like, how are you not getting that this? I mean, cartoons have seizure warnings. Like.
Well, and to juxtapose what you just said, especially around the accessibility, because again, when we're talking about esports, today even I talked about inclusivity, diversity, and accessibility, talking about like the adaptive controller that Microsoft has, which I assume you can use here. But as you're talking about, even Carrie, before we even jumped over here, when we were on the Zoom with Riverside, you even made mention of, well, they don't do closed caption on here. Like you have genuine hearing issues and you need closed captioning, which I know we don't have it here. Maybe that's something I can build into this. I don't know, but there's that. And then what's the game? I'm drawing a blank. What's it called? It just came out for PS4, and it was like they went above and beyond on the adaptive accessibility part. It was like that post-apocalyptic. Somebody in chat, Last of Us 2. Thank you, chat.
Great. They did great. I think it's everything. It's like even being able to change. I forget which game it was that somebody was just talking about. It might have been Cyberpunk. It might have been a different one. But there's another game that just came out. If it wasn't Cyberpunk, you can't even remap for left-handedness. So if you're a keyboard and mouse controller, and I don't know if it is Cyberpunk, but a recently dropped game, you can't even adapt for left-handedness. So it's like,
that's wild.
If you are a game developer, we don't even Snowbright. We're not out here producing games with the anticipation of them being AAA games that are going to go everywhere, but we stop and we think about how we can make our games accessible to everybody. Like if you are
they have a freaking website just on the accessibility.
These guys are awesome. Game. These guys are awesome, but this is a group that is doing it right. They're out there working with accessibility advocates. They're bringing in consultants, and they're making sure that they're designing their game from the bottom up with accessibility in mind. If you're putting accessibility features in after the fact, you've done it too late. You've already built your game to be non-accessible. It needs to start from the ground up and grow and build as your game develops.
And this is, as you see here, the fact that they can put a whole website together of just everything. And I know I've seen a video, and I can't find it right quick, of a gentleman who's playing this game for the first time and just breaks into tears. Because literally breaks into tears because of just how he could finally enjoy a game fully. Yep. It felt like it was made for him. Mm-hmm. And again, that's the beautiful thing, especially about the Xbox controller. I did an interview with Brian Johnson, who heads up Microsoft's group that did that project, and it started as a skunkworks project. It was just a passion project within Microsoft, and they were wanting to help people who were coming back from war who may have had lost limbs or something to be able to still play games. And again, the market for this is there. It's just, as somebody who worked in special ed at the Cove School, which is an all special ed school, and love assistive technology and the amazing thing you can do with assistive tech, to see just how people come up with answers and solutions that are just so janky to make things work. This is not janky. This is
beautiful. And you've got organizations out there that do this. I mean, you've got Able Gamers, you have Special Effects, you have large organizations that you can call in for consulting. That it's not like we don't know better. Like, we know better. The people that are building this equipment, that are making custom rigs, for people to be able to access their gaming, like it's there. We need to be building games that are fully accessible. And as esports educators, we need to make sure that our programs are accessible as possible, which means if we have the option between two games, one that has more accessibility features than others, we should probably be going with the game that has more accessibility features. And we should be setting up our programs to be able to accommodate various people. I know in esports, there's a lot of controversy about what's better, whether you're a keyboard and mouse player or whether you're a controller player, and that can be a huge divide within a community. But for a lot of people, that controller is going to be the only they can use. They don't have the ability to use a keyboard and mouse, or they might have to use an adaptive mouse. Like, we need to be making sure that our programs allow us to accommodate the range of students that we have, including, special needs for accessibility.
And I really suck with an Xbox controller, I will say that. But, again, just things to consider as well. Built into an Xbox is Copilot. So you can actually have two people playing together as one using two different controllers. So if you have a student or somebody who can only just push one button.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
Daniel,
so cool.
you all can find it out.
I didn't know about that.
You sure can.
Conference session, there needs to be an accessibility in esports for teachers.
Do we need to do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
we can do that.
This was here.
For sure.
What? Say again, Daniel?
We need an accessibility in scholastic esports. Like, I don't know if people know about the adaptive controller. So we're doing, so since last week and I wasn't here, I mean, not changing topics, but my district is going like ham into esports. And so we were asked to come up with a budget. And so like our startup budget and our yearly budget for 10 schools, like, what do we want? And so I had a meeting after school with our athletic director today, because we're just going through like what's going to come from which budget, because it's like 3 different departments that are funding us. And one of the things I said today was I want to make sure that we have adaptive equipment at all the schools already, or at least at the district level, so that kids don't have to wait for the whole approval process.
Right.
If I have a kid that wants to play, if I've got a kid that wants to play, like, I need that adaptive controller today. Like, either I need to run and get it, or like it needs to be on my campus. And they were like, yeah, absolutely. Like, but I don't even know if everybody knows those even exist. So knowing this Copilot thing is pretty sick. Like,
if you're in esports and you are not aware of adaptive gaming technology, you're missing something.
But so many of the teachers that are doing this for their kids, they're not in esports at all. I know,
but gaming in general, like they need to. Like that's there's going to be so many kids.
They need to, but
I know. Because we've got a lot of people that are flooding into the industry with little to no background. There's a large amount of people that are starting esports and gaming programs that are not gamers. And so, they're not already following these organizations that are doing all the advocacy and hard work to bring adaptive, technology to the forefront. And they aren't aware of what currently exists. And it's unfortunate. I'm glad we're talking about it. Hopefully more people will continue to talk about it, because there's a huge presence out there for it. It just needs to become more and more prominent. And I love the fact that you're planning in advance, because like what we were talking about, I think not too long ago, about how long it takes to get items. So if you already have a certain amount of adaptive technology, that allows you to be able to meet the needs of your player base a lot quicker. And I think that's great. Anything from the vertical mice. I know a lot of people can't use the regular mouse, but a vertical mouse they can use. Adaptive controllers, like there's,
I'm one of those people. I can't use a regular mouse. Is like I've had 2 wrist surgeries on my right hand, and I don't have like feeling all the way in my fingertips. Like having a mouse that I can move with just my thumb is something that like I really, really need, and I can't usually find them like at work and stuff like that. But I always need it.
This channel that I just put up, All Access Life, Dan O'Connor and Brad Heaven. Dan and Brad have been working together for 10 years. Dan is Brad's, I guess you could say, aide, if you will, partner. Brad has cerebral palsy, but they've turned in 17,000 subscribers, All Access Life, talking about not just the assistive technologies that Brad uses, but just day-to-day life, how they play together, how they test out things. So, they did do a review of the adaptive controller. 1.2 million views about using the adaptive controller here. Of course, we got the advertisement here, but just like how we do here for Twitch. But again, they show how they play together, how they work together. So again, those of you who are coming to this never seeing something like this before, finding out what this esports EDU community, if you are, because I was happy to see in the symposium that we were in a group talking about alternative education and using esports in alt ed, right? I don't see enough around how we're using or even developing rules on how we can let kids like Brad here play in our leagues. But with Wisconsin High School Esports Association, we did write in rules around co-play. We did write in rules about using adaptive technology tools. We're not a pipeline to the pros, folks. So we can do these things. We can bend these rules and make things just as accessible. The invitation has to be there.
Yeah, and I think what you need to keep in mind is it isn't just the adaptive controller. If you're looking at organizations like Able Gamers and Special Effects, like there are groups that will take a gamer and custom build an interface into their console or PC. And so if you only have eye movement, they can make you an interface that is based off eye movement. Maybe it's breath. They've got these really intricate systems that they can build that'll allow people with essentially no mobility to be able to game. So if people are like, we just that can't be accommodated, it can. You just have to care enough to fight to have that accommodation made and know where to go to have the people that have the skills to be able to go, okay, what are we dealing with? Yeah, no, we got that. Like we've worked with this before. We can make something happen.
I went to the Microsoft store. Back when we could go out, I took my students to play a League of Legends tournament at the Microsoft store.
I don't even remember anymore.
Microsoft stores won't even exist after this, I guess. They closed it, but
most of them have, yes.
Yeah. But while we were there, we had a break between games and we were checking out. They had one of their computers with the eye tracking thing on display. So we got to try it. And it was wild. It's like, wherever you look, which is just crazy in and of itself. But then it's like, if you want to click something, you blink fast. If you want to do this, you blink slow or you blink twice or whatever. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like,
and just it's amazing to do. And then just knowing what features there are. I downloaded Call of the Sea last night because it's on Game Pass, and I was like, okay, that'll be fun. And I went in while the menu is very hard to manage. When you get into the audio options, it has subtitles, which is great. I'm like, okay, subtitles is good because a lot of times you turn those on and you can even have English. But then on top of it, there was a hard of hearing subtitles, and I was like, oh, is there now. So I turned those puppies on. But you don't normally see that. Like that was, one of the big complaints I had about the games that I used to main is that as somebody with a hearing impairment, there were certain things that it was like, oh, this is killing me. Like I can't. Because there was no feature to turn on to give you visual indicators of audio.
By the way, there was a game. I know we were just kind of talking about using games with eye movement. There's a video that Brad did around this game, and I'll put this up on screen here. Boy, I'm just full of resources tonight. Check this out.
You are.
Hyperdot, which is one of these games that you can play using a webcam and just your eyes. And it was like, there's a perfect challenge right there, right? It's about, I think this game is about $15. You can get it on Steam. But yeah, it is, you can use it completely using a webcam. So think about, we talk a lot about different types of games we can play. Again, not a pipeline to the pros. Finding ways in your school that are going to allow for more kids to be a part of it. So if you're working in a school that has we have a school here in Racine called Wadowitz, where we have most of our kids with severe physical impairments where they go because the school was set up for it. It's got a therapeutic swimming pool, that kind of stuff. This would be a perfect type of game to introduce to that group, right? Is now this becomes a form of competition. My friend CJ Campbell, who has cerebral palsy, I interviewed him for the podcast early, and we talked about how, the thing that he hates the most, because he is a competitive person, is this whole thing around, well, they would, you see those things on ESPN where it's like, oh, we're set up for, we lost Gilad. We're setting you up for success, right? Give the kid with special needs the football and let him score a touchdown. He goes, I don't want that experience. I want to be able to actually compete, not setting me up to succeed. So I'll put this link in the chat for the game.
And I think that's also somewhat of a shift in perspective that people need to look at, because that's been the argument that's come up a lot of the time in regards to game modes, like the easy mode or the hard mode. And one of the big arguments that's come out of accessibility specialists is, those terms, one, shouldn't exist. If your game is built well and you have enough accessibility features that are in there, that you should be able to accommodate the game to be able to meet your needs as a player. And so things like, super hard mode doesn't necessarily have to be there. Like, granted, people like the challenge, but when it creates this divide of like, well, if you're playing on normal mode, then you're not a gamer. Like, no, let's stop. Let's stop.
Like with Hades, the God mode, like I couldn't play it. I would not have any fun if that didn't exist.
And they have the easy mode where you can just go in and just play your game and do the speed run with that.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's called like the God mode or whatever.
Isn't it? By the way, I get to interview Darren Korb for the podcast about the music on Hades. He does the voice. He does the voice of Hades.
Oh yes, I've been looking him up because I love voice actors.
Well,
like the voice acting is so good.
Well,
so is the music too.
Well, he's also the music producer, so he does the voice of Zagreus and Skelly, and he also grew up where I grew up. So he's from San Jose. He actually went to the high school that my uncles all went to that I didn't go to.
Oh, sweet.
And so we've got a lot of synergies there. It's like we'll be buddies at the end of all the time. So
did you see that?
I'm really looking forward to that because
I won some award today.
By the way,
I know the Game Awards. I missed it.
I missed it too. My students all did a watch party in our Discord.
I do have to appreciate what Mike Washburn is saying here too. Playing Civ 5 on Chieftain so you can crush your enemies. Yeah, I love that. Just get that super easy level and just build up like all the stuff you can't get. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just wanted to make sure Mike got there before we got off on another tangent that we always seem to do.
What I need is easy mode on Planet Zoo because I currently have a large reptile roaming my zoo.
Oh, I want that game.
He's dangerous, and I have an alert, and I can't find him, and I don't know how to fix him. And this is my first day playing, and I am causing all sorts of trouble. But yes, now there's an animal on the loose threatening to eat my guest.
That game sounds so fun.
Sounds like middle school.
I have to say this really quick because we're on time. those of you who are involved in the Esports EDU or Esports Symposium for Riverside, your next session is starting right now. So you don't have to leave, but
You can hang with us.
You should stay.
But, well, I will say Dr. Constance Steinkuhler is presenting on that panel, and
You
she's
should go.
Yeah,
You should just go right now. Just leave.
But
That's
come
where
back
we
here
get all our
next
ideas
week.
from. So
Yeah, come back here next week though, and we'll be here. But we're going to be playing Fortnite next week because Jarrell.
Oh,
is,
Ooh, yeah.
if you're interested, next
Follow us on
Wednesday
Twitter, by the way.
is the girls' chat. So
Oh, yeah,
you can
yeah.
also join us for
better
that
promotion of that. I asked you
on the
about that.
Tech F1 channel.
Next Wednesday.
We need to do a better promotion of that here. Seriously, of all the stuff that we do.
I don't
Again,
make graphics, so
Well, neither did Carrie today. You have one job, Carrie. I was kidding.
she
I'm
already
sorry.
made them.
I made them.
She made them. I just I'm not good at social media. I need somebody to I need it all scheduled, and TweetDeck just doesn't do it for
You
me.
need to just live in my world for.
I need an action where I go oh, I'm gonna do this, and I go click, and it does all of the things.
I want a headshot of everybody because I want to turn us all into cartoons and then put our bodies on superheroes, or be able to just create. I want to be able to do something like that. So if you all could just get me a headshot that you want to use, I'm gonna make some fun. I think we'll make some fun stuff.
Absolutely.
So, Melissa Burns from Canada, She asks, when and where is the girls' chat,
Oh, it is on the text. Are we on?
Put a link in.
Yeah,
Put a link
Okay,
in.
that's on LinkedIn. It's on the
LinkedIn.
Text F1.
No, I mean put a link.
No, that's on
in.
Periscope.
A link
Yeah,
in the
I
chat.
know.
Yeah,
I'm not. Yeah, I can't respond to her, so
So it's on the
I'm
text
not-
That's in
channel?
Periscope. Yeah.
it's on the Text
Yeah,
F1
Periscope.
channel.
Text F1 on Twitch Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, here. Can I type it? I'll type it on here, and then you put it up.
I think I just did it because I'm a big boy. There,
And
I'm a big boy.
I'm following you as well.
Oh,
And what day? You said it's Wednesday?
So yeah, it's every
Wednesday.
other Wednesday. Yeah, so it'll be this coming Wednesday.
A party.
At what
is
time?
it 8 Central? Right. Yeah. There we go. Oh, we got there at the same time.
We all did it. And then I go to the channel and there's Patrick. I don't know what Patrick's doing. It's offline, but it's just showing Patrick sitting there looking around.
Oh, it's probably from our last Rocket League night.
No, it looks like League of Legends. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, then it's probably just him playing League of Legends.
So yeah, and here's the thing too, right? It's great that we have a panel here that is international, worldwide, diverse voices, and we mix it up and change it up, and there's different people. As we've talked about too, it's important to also have these spaces for underrepresented to still have their space, right? I could tell you that I did check out the girls' chat the first night because I felt
We didn't even
so
tell
weird.
him we were doing it.
No, but somebody busted you out and said, "Hey, did you see this?" And I went over there, and it was like I felt like I was. I don't know. I'm so used to Carrie and I being on these things, and even though I'm watching Carrie on my phone, I feel like she's there, and I'm start having conversation with her. And
Why
it's
is she not talking back?
why is she not saying anything to me? And then Nick comes in here. Oh yeah, Mike, we
Hi.
don't need any more
Hey,
Canadians. We're
Nick,
good.
what's up, mate? How are you?
So we do. By the way, we do have about 15 minutes left.
So I want to take, first of all, I want to tell Carrie what you said about Cyberpunk really connected with me with what made me a bit disappointed with the game, because it's fantastic with the little I played so far. I was looking forward to playing as a transgender, to be honest. But it doesn't have any impact in the game, doesn't affect your decisions. So if you make it at a point to deliver so-called immersive experience or hypersexualized, but to me it was supposed to be immersive, make it impactful, make it change in the game. There's a gap there.
I believe it also doesn't change your voice option either, correct? So
no,
and that in the transgender community, it's one thing to have your body representation, but your voice is one of those things that is often really meaningful because there's a lot of variation, when people transition. A lot of times your voice doesn't necessarily change much. Yeah, so you can have a very feminine looking body but still have a very masculine voice. So when you're producing a game and you're creating gender diversity, that's something that we're going to need to look at in development. So like saying, okay, well, I want to be a transgender character, you need to be able to adjust voices as well. So you need to be able to, like, if you want true representation, somebody needs to be able to go, okay, I want to be a transgender female, but my voice is going to be a lot deeper because that is our reality.
It's what it is. It's what it is.
Yeah.
I think there's a gap. I think there's not a gap. Some sort of a contradiction between wanting to create such an immersive world full of the cyber fluid gender identities in the digital realm, but in the physical realm disregard any inclusion standards. Do you know what I mean?
Well, which makes you wonder, why do they need to go that direction in the first place? Like if they're taking a particular demographic and doing it to be punk and edgy, then they're really using a population without respecting them in the process.
Well,
and that's what's caused a lot of the issue.
You can, as you're developed, because I built my character last night, and there's a lot of interesting things that you can set. For example, genitalia. You can choose what you want.
Your size, I believe, right?
That was the word option.
You can also, they have two voices. They have a male and a female voice.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing, and I got a female voice for my male character. But I started playing, and I'm like, okay, for me, it was just like, I might as well just made it a random thing. But yes, there are issues, but the step forward here is that yes, you can create a male character that isn't. Sorry, trying to have a serious conversation, and of course the Canadian is screwing it up.
Well, I mean, there was like a whole day where everybody's Twitter feed was nothing but photographs of people's genitalia sliders. Like,
what?
That
wasn't on my timeline. I don't know what you're following.
A lot of people that were playing Cyberpunk.
What are you following?
You got daddies coming out.
It was like, what? I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, people.
Wow. So I'm glad that the other people went back to the symposium, because if this is their first time here, they're going, what the hell are they talking about? But you know what? Guess what? Our kids are playing this game. Our high school kids,
absolutely, they
our middle school kids are playing this game.
My students there was a very heated disagreement in my Discord last night about the bugs and should they be responsible and should it have been better? It was in development for so long and blah, 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 blah. It's got very heated.
Look,
yeah.
There's a lot. And here's the other thing, too, that a lot of people don't realize that they have to do. If you're playing this game and you're like, oh, it's so buggy, and you're on a PC, go update your video drivers.
Oh, yeah.
You have to go update your video drivers. If you don't know how to do that, you need to figure out how to do that, because if they're not updated, you're going to have some janky stuff. The same thing happened with there's a couple other games that came out recently where people are like, "Oh, this game's all buggy." No, it's because your video drivers are out of date. So make sure you get those fixed.
But see, James, only you would know that. See, and this is why I said, hold on. This is why I said in my tweets that I will not buy a PS5 or an Xbox until a year later, because I do not. And I told my own kids, y'all can do that in your 20s. That's what you do in your 20s. You buy that, because I've done it too. You have that one time when you're in line just because that's what you do, and you know that your product is faulty. That's what you do in your 20s. But when you get into your 40s and your 50s, you're a little bit wiser. You have a little bit more money, and you're a little bit more smarter with your investment. And that's why my son, and he's probably listening, when I asked him, when his friend got it, I asked him like 50 questions. Okay, did he get digital or non-digital? Did he get this or get that? Did he get this or that? Why are you interrogating me? I'm about to drop $500 on something, and I want it to work.
At least 500.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Before we got on here, there was this, I need to find it. There was this 30-second video where this guy's girlfriend came in and ripped the PS4 off and dropped it and broke it. You know what I'm talking about, Angelique? Have you seen it?
No, I'm laughing at chat, but
she
People
dropped
in chat are trying to break the bot right now and trying to find different ways to spell penis.
Oh Lord, she dropped it and broke it right in front of his face, and he was like, "Oh my God!" And then she went and she just walked off, and then walked right back in the room and said, "Here's your PS5." And then everybody went in on Twitter like, you don't know if that's backwards compatible or not, and it still would have been on and popping if you still broke my PS4 just because I got a PS5.
yeah.
So it's I just tell my friends like, hey, it's on you if you want to get one or not. You know, in your 20s, when you're 18, 19, you can go ahead and stand in that line. You can bring your bed out. You can be in the cold because that's what you do when you're young. That's what you do when you're young. I did it one time, and I will regret. I regret it, but that's what you do when you're in your 20s, and then you learn, and then you let somebody else do that when they turn 18, 19, 20.
But if you're playing on a PC, read the system requirements.
You have to read. You have to know if your system can handle it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know. You can't just go, well, this will work on a Chromebook.
My computer would light on fire if I tried to open that game on this.
Oh, my work computer would die. Like, it's having a hard time right now because it's got like a live feed of this, and it's like, oh, I'm like, you're okay.
Okay, what's the last? Because this was a question that Dr. Cohort asked me on her podcast episode we did. What is the last game you waited in line for?
Oh my God,
None.
Never waited for one.
Really?
I mean, like, I've gotten games on launch days, but digital.
Yeah.
Like Smash.
I know.
I've either pre-ordered.
Yeah, pre-ordered.
Or I waited. I have never waited in line for a game, and I will never wait in line for a game.
Online. What's a game that you've waited online? Last game you waited on? Some people say online, and some people say inline.
I never pre-ordered. This is the first time I pre-ordered Cyberpunk an hour before its launch.
Fallout 76 broke me. I will never pre-order a game ever again.
You pre-ordered Fallout 76?
That game killed me. Yeah, the great thing is they ended up offering
I was that close to
refunds to
doing it.
everybody.
I was that close to doing it, but then I
Good thing
remember
you didn't.
Bethesda. No, you don't pre-order Bethesda.
My last game
I wish it was a fantastic game. I wish.
The game I waited in line for, the last game I waited in line for was StarCraft 2.
Oh.
That was been about 2009, 2010-ish.
I mean, I feel like, with Amazon Prime and everything now, like, I don't even go to GameStop or anything. Like, I walk in GameStop in the mall back when you could do that, but like,
what's a mall?
Go in there, but I've never like gone and
I like to be able to watch enough playthrough to know whether I want to spend my money, especially when you've got a game that's going to be like $60 out the gate, and you're going to be paying for DLCs.
Yep.
No, I need to see it because we've been through too many variations of Call of Duty where like one's been good and then the next two have been
not garbage.
No, I'm not pre-ordering anymore.
Yeah, that's. I mean, now again, now these days I go to Twitch and I watch people playing like early access. Or I watch launch day and I'm like, do I want this or not? Okay, yeah, it looks cool. No, whatever. So I feel like now, people don't really do that. I mean, I'm sure people do, but not like it used to be.
Well, nothing's like it's ever going to be like that ever again. I mean, even today, as we found out, there's a United States senator who, if we put any streaming copyright content on Twitch, he wants to, after your second offense, have felony charges brought against you.
That's any game.
Wait,
most games you technically do not have the right to stream because it's copyright material and you do not own a broadcast license.
So Tom Tillis, the senator from one of the senators from North Carolina, is putting into the big omnibus bill. So an omnibus bill is like the main funding bill for the United States government for the year, putting in the language that if you are caught streaming copyrighted material online, your second offense, it will count as a felony charge against you.
Really?
So Twitch's entire business model is just gone.
Yeah, what?
So Twitch, YouTube, Facebook gaming,
Facebook.
all of them, TikTok, everything. Like you technically would not be able to put, because it's copyrighted material. So no video games, no music, like no.
So then what happens to the gaming industry in general then? Because that's how some of them are like, okay, well, that's how some of them make their money.
Well, they're
Like-
probably going to have to lobby. Like they're going to have to lobby against it because it is not in their best interest to have that bill pass, like even remotely in their best interest.
He wants
and most
jail
of them know
time.
that.
He wants friggin' jail time for people.
James, was he also including games in that, or was he not thinking games? Did he say the word video games as well? Because
Well,
some
I
people
just-
say that and they don't know anything about video games.
I'm just
I'm
well,
sure
here's the damnedest thing, right? These senators have staffers. Staffers are in their 20s, typically young people. They get a lot of opinions, they get a lot of ideas, they run things through them. I cannot believe there is not a damn staffer on his staff who didn't say, you know what, this maybe isn't a good
The
idea.
U.S. government
Yeah, what?
still does not have a strong gamer presence on the Hill.
That would be because they're all octogenarians.
Not there.
That was the same problem that
outside
Microsoft
perspective-
had years ago. Yeah, you're right. Sorry,
It's
go
like-
on, go
From
ahead.
the perspective, I have to say that to me, I am an American history buff a bit. It doesn't sound like there was an aide to tell him not to do it. There was actually a staffer to tell him to do it. To me, it sounds like what he wants in return to get it out of the bill. Because this seems too outrageous to follow through at the end. So it sounds like something some of those things you put in, and in return you don't close the military base, or the federal government doesn't close the military base, or something like that.
Oh, I mean,
so I really do hope it's something like that.
we have a pretty big history, though, of there being very heavy lobbies against the music and entertainment industry.
So here it is. Tillis's
Yes.
felony streaming proposal, available to read online. I put the story in with the link. Recommends any streamer or creator who shares a song, album, or unauthorized video clip in a commercial setting. Okay, maybe that's the key phrase here, commercial setting.
But commercial setting, if you're a streamer and you are an affiliate
Well-
or partnered, you are making money off your content, which means it's a commercial setting.
So-
Technically, my
But
stream is a
even-
commercial setting.
But
Should
my
face
stuff that
felony
is
offense with
not.
possible prison sentence.
Like they put ads on my stuff too. I'm not. That makes YouTube the commercial setting, not me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and if you
Well-
can be sub to, like it anyone from affiliate on up on Twitch, a lot of the people on TikTok.
Well, and Twitch must have known this was coming, because what did they do a couple of months ago or a month ago? They basically said, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act is now being enforced. We're going to go back and remove
Because
videos.
It
You know,
started on
archive-
YouTube.
Yeah.
It started on YouTube a couple of months before it rolled into Twitch. The thing here that is even more impactful is the video clip. Because again, like when you play a video game, they're generally speaking, no license for broadcast is included in your purchase of a game. So it means when you are broadcasting your video game, that technically is an illegal activity. It is just games generally don't enforce it. I think with the exception being Nintendo, who will come out and enforce their license rights if they don't agree with your content or if their content goes far enough against their brand.
I have an idea. So to our two Canadians in the chat tonight, guess what, Canadians? We're going to use you as the streamers, and we will just work with you. So Canadian people, we are going to work with you to stream our content. You will be outside U.S. jurisdiction. Gilad, we're going to have you streaming from Israel. Anything that we need, let them come back
Buddy
over there.
system!
Yeah, we're going to have an international buddy system.
You
and,
too can adopt an American streamer for just $1 a day. You can help support an American content creator.
That's a clip right there. Somebody needs to clip that and just put that out there and tweet at Tom Tillis.
Wow.
Ryman, I need some Sarah McLachlan-esque music
Yes,
to go with
there
this
you go.
commercial.
There you
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
All right.
But not actually.
James, do I have time to
Right.
talk about my message I received today?
Please. We technically we have a minute, but we have really no schedule. I
So,
can hang out for a minute.
you know what? Let's leave it as something we might open up on the next session.
Okay.
Next week. I'll just read. Because I'm pretty much grassroots over here, so I get a lot of messages from a lot of people. Lately, I've been getting a lot of messages about spillovers between disputes that start between two kids or gamers in like a game and escalated to a point of really harsh conditions. So this is the message I received today. I'll read it verbatim. I'll translate it just because it's very important to discern the language he's speaking and the solution he's supposedly thinks is appropriate. So we have groups of kids students that play Minecraft together as a group. There was an incident and one of the friends got annoyed and ruined the server. The other kids claimed he hacked his way in through the admin account of the guy who created the server. He said no, and the thing is, one of the parents says this is a criminal. Sees this as a criminal matter. So I was wondering, is it actually possible to hack into someone else's account? And that was his question. Can you please assist me? Can you please? And it goes on. So look what happened here. Like a game between a few extracurricular activity that escalated, got to the point that one of the parents actually used the word criminal,
Right.
Which is very severe, in my opinion. And this just goes to show how things that start in the online realm don't necessarily, first of all, end up there. But in regards to what he says, yeah, but in regard to what he says, he came to me asking for a technological solution, because is it possible it was hacked? I'll tell you what I wrote him back, pretty much, if we have the time, or do you want to finish him?
We'll tell you what. Let's save that for next week, because that'll give us some chance to think on that. If you want, share with us that, put it in an email or put it in the Discord, and that way we can look at the message in entirety.
It's in Hebrew, but
Never mind.
Google Translate. We'll try our best.
I'll see if Google Translate doesn't ruin it. But the discussion that I would like to raise in next week basically is how the lack of knowledge with parents combined with the potential escalation between kids can combine, and just want to hear your advice as community leaders. Each one of you actually leads a community. Here I'm pretty much guerrilla. So
as well as data protection, because I know a lot of kids get their accounts hijacked by their friends because they've given
so
way
very
too much
curious to
access.
learn how each one of you would deal with such similar incidents in his community. It'll be a very interesting comparison, in my opinion.
Well, with that,
for next week.
yeah. So, Gilad, do you want to give us a final thought, other than we're going to have homework?
I will try to translate the messages. My final thought is, yesterday Israel signed another peace accords. Was supposed to sign a peace accords with Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
This is all very political, and it's very easy to be cynical. But I've already DM'd like the head of Esports Association in Morocco a few weeks ago, and things that seem to be cynical don't always seem to be on the ground. And esports is an amazing bridge to connect between not only languages and barriers, but also traditions and religions.
Carrie,
We're hiring over at Snowbright.
What are we hiring?
So we're looking for a programmer, which it's interesting. I'm really excited about looking for a fellow. So our fellows, the exciting part, it's kind of like an internship. So if you have any of your old students who were into like game art, where we're artists. Our fellow program looks at basically university students, but if there was an exemplary high school student, they can also apply. It's up. Link is up on our LinkedIn page. But it's a great opportunity for kids to get studio experience, and we throw them in there, so they immediately become part of the team. They're actually doing work on the game. They get their names in the credits for the games that they've worked on. It's a great opportunity. This will be our third one. This will be our first game artist fellow. I'm really excited about it. But then we're also looking for a programmer. A lot harder to find programmers than artists for so many interesting reasons. But
Barry is looking for somebody to haze. Let's get real.
no, I'm nice.
But yes, programmers are hard to find. Sorry, I cut you off.
Other than that, check. I feel like I say this all the time. We are smack dab in the middle of the holiday season, and people are not okay. So check in with your friends, because I'm noticing more and more people are sort of dropping off of social media or expressing really deep concerns about their emotional health. So if you know you have friends that you haven't heard from in a long time, or just even within the community, I know sometimes an esports EDU contact goes dark. I'll drop them a DM and just be like, hey, are you okay? Watch people and check in.
Danielle?
I don't I'm always on the spot, and I mean I should think about this ahead of time, but I don't.
Promote your stream again.
Yeah, so we're streaming on Wednesdays or every other Wednesday, and it's kind of just us girls, but it's not just esports. It's like education on esports. You know, not everybody's a gamer, because I guess I wasn't. They're not gamers yet. That's what they are.
The guys aren't there for the broadcast. But I definitely recommend being there in the audience. It's one of those situations where I think it's good to get a different point of view. It's one that, we might bring up a different view on a topic.
The Tesla logo was the topic last time.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, it was.
One.
So yeah, I think it's helpful to get a female perspective on things. So you're more than welcome to be in chat.
And
yes, please come to the chat.
I'll go with mine. There are some people who watch this who I really like, and then there's some people who watch our chat who I'm really concerned about. Please, please, please do not create a situation that makes any of the people who are participating in this stream uncomfortable, because I will make you uncomfortable. Okay, Angelique.
I second that. And also, early congratulations to everybody for finishing the semester. We are so close. Like, I could see the light at the end of the tunnel, and this semester.
You get a break?
We do get a break. We get a 2-week break.
Oh, nice.
And,
For Christmas, yeah?
Huh?
So like for Christmas
and New Year's, and I feel like all of us have worked so hard. I'm burnt out. I know you guys feel that too, and I don't know. I'm proud of us. We did it. I feel like I'm kind of getting the hang of teaching online as much as you can say you are doing that, and we can do it. We got one more week,
and we finished our first semester of TechSaf League play.
Yay!
That. We've learned a lot, guys. A lot.
Bradford.
So I'm kind of shocked that Carrie didn't even say it, but I'll just go on and tag what I said a couple weeks ago. In games, representation matters, and whether you disagree with the game or not, whether you buy the game or not, that's your business. But if you do buy the game and you see something that you don't like, call them out and make sure that your voice is still heard. I still think it's okay to buy the games that you feel that you like, but if you see something that you disagree with, tweet it out, put it on social media, speak your voice, and let them know that, hey, this is not right, or hey, I'm not represented in this game, or hey, I can't play this game because of these things, so that they can do better the next time, or they can fix what needs to be fixed while the game is still out there.
I do not own Cyberpunk, nor will I.
I'm going to play it right after this, after I eat a big bowl of All right,
Me too, probably.
that will do it. Gilad gets to go to sleep now, or maybe he's going to be up playing some video games for a while.
I'm gonna take every second I have to, until the weekend.
That is a man with a young baby in the house that is out of the house, and he's like, I don't care if I feel like I'm hungover after this kid comes back. I'm enjoying every moment of freedom.
The strongest snow known to man belongs to a 3-year-old that refuses to put her jacket on when it's raining outside.
And Chris, and of course, Chris is like, yep, he knows because he hasn't been able to be on the stream because of kids. So thanks again, everybody, for being here tonight.
Thank you.
We will be back next week now. And again, next week, we've got a little bit of a changed format. So we're going to probably be a little.
Good one.
Nick is going for a ban. He's just, he's looking to get kicked. Whatever. It's fine.
Oh my God.
Next week will be a little long form because again, I'm sure we'll do a little chat and then Jarrell will have the takeover and we might use Miss Angelique's Fortnite creator code and maybe a map of one of her students or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out next week. But next week's like our Christmas party. Well, our holiday get together or Happy Hanukkah.
That is Happy Hanukkah a little bit early.
Yes. So no, it started. Was
Today.
Today was
Yeah.
the first candle of Hanukkah.
Yep.
So get your gelt.
I thought it was Tuesday.
It starts today. Yeah.
I thought today was Tuesday.
It's a holiday where we eat donuts. So yeah.
All right, that'll do it. Thanks everybody. See you next week.
Bye.